Oh, you're good. So, man. Yeah, you're good. Andy.
All right, it's 4:02. I'm going to call the meeting into order. Jared, can you conduct roll call?
Mr. Barnes.
Here.
Mr. Christensen. Mr. Clark.
Here.
Mr. Herman. Mr. Taylor.
Here.
Alderman Wall.
Here.
Mr. Cieslak.
Here. Adoption agenda. I would ask everyone to please look over the agenda, and I'll entertain a motion to approve or disapprove.
I'm gonna make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Please look over the minutes from our last meeting. Again, I'll entertain a motion to approve or disapprove the minutes.
I didn't see anything on anybody else, but I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from June 12th.
Any seconds?
Oh, well, it's June 12th. Oh, is it there? It is this year. Never mind. Sorry, go ahead. I thought it was a typo. Go ahead. Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Reports, please look over the reports from the last meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Hey, Andy, can I make I think this is the reports for this meeting, right?
So it's past reports from the last meeting. So it is this meeting.
From the prior BMA meeting, is what you're saying? Okay. Sorry, I thought we were...
Yeah, it's technically past reports.
Oh, for the June, okay.
Because we don't have we wouldn't have the reports for this meeting.
This is what was presented in the
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay.
All right, I'll make sure I make that note for next time, say past reports.
Trying to work on extra tools?
Check it, man.
So this is from June, this is what
What?
this is what we
Yeah.
Okay.
When you were in Hawaii.
Yeah, what?
When you were in Hawaii.
Hey, I wasn't official. Well, yeah, I was official, I guess. But I wasn't on here then.
No.
I hadn't been appointed yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So I got a motion to approve. Second, I think T just, would you?
I make a motion to approve the reports from the previous meeting.
And Jason second.
Second.
All right, so we're going to go on to new business and discussion items. So we're going to do current stormwater projects. Michael will go over the current project list and any discussion items. So go ahead, Mike, you're good.
Okay. All right, let's get started. Some of today's topics are the MS4 permit update, some drainage concerns that we've had. We had some pretty good rains in mid-July that sparked a lot of calls and things that we had to take a look at. So the general maintenance of the existing infrastructure, a few notes on the capital improvement project, and some public outreach that we did in the past few months. The MS4 permit, TDEC has scheduled a compliance evaluation inspection for the MCM3, which is minimum control measure 3, illicit discharge. It's not really like a formal audit. It's going to be a Zoom meeting. We're just going to go over what ordinances we have in place for how we deal with illicit discharges. I've emailed them copies of our notice of violations and our ordinance and things that so it should be pretty straightforward. We're in pretty good shape with how we handle illicit discharges. So I'll report more on that next time. They've implemented now the My TDEC forms, which is an online paperless version of reporting. So they just rolled it out. Everybody's fighting with it. There's, it's everywhere. It's just trying to get used to it and all the new components of it. And so I've basically spent the last 3 months just digging into everything that we did last year and it reported within this new format. So that's been an ongoing process, and will be for a couple of years.
So once you get so how far back are they wanting? From 2022?
This is 2022-23. It's from July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2023 is this year's annual report. And that will have to be submitted by September 30th. So I've got it mostly done. I'm kind of waiting for this compliance evaluation so I can ask a few more questions and make sure we're up to date and doing things the way we need to. So there'll be, after that's done, I'll get it out for some review and everybody get to take a look. I haven't figured out how to print it yet. I don't know if I can, but I'll figure something out so we can all get a look at it before it's due to be submitted. What else? And just a side note that TDEC did acknowledge receipt of our permanent stormwater implementation plan, that all the information was there and complete, and they have it on record, so it's logged into the permit. So that was submitted right before I started, right before June. So they acknowledged it's in and complete, and so that's the MS4. Drainage concerns, all these pictures are pretty much from, it was right around July 18th, 19th, right in there. We had a good 3 inches of rain, 1.5 inches of it I think we had in one morning on, I think it was July 18th, so there was a lot of issues out there. On the left, 491 Callista, that's just a low area down at the bottom where the water, when it comes in fast, it sits there for a little bit. Now the nice thing about all these, they all drained off within 72 hours. That Callista one, that was gone in half a day. So it just backs up for a minute before it can get out of there. But it's got a lot of input coming into it with new construction, and so just some things that we'll be looking at down the road. 221 Hobbs, that is Cope's Crossing right there. They're right behind there. I think they've put some the outfalls are falling right there on that property. So I think that while it wasn't supposed to change the drainage, but maybe it's a little more concentrated now, and so we might have to do a few improvements right in a couple of those backyards.
The city will have to do it, or the developer?
I think we talked to the developer. They've kind of put in a spreader swale, and they're going to try and help and do a few things as well. I think most of these problems, well, especially 221 Hobbs and 221 Hillwood, which is the mills, a very similar setup, is going to be a combination of both. I think now with the water coming in a very specific location, concentrated area, I think the receiving part of the system needs a little update and a little.
Because it was already taken on before
it was, and there was a little more sheet flow, so it could kind of stall and delay and spread it out. And
well, Hobbs was a wooded area. That area back there was fully wooded. So
yep.
This didn't happen before the construction, correct?
It did to some degree. As far as I've seen, and talking with my crew and everything.
Yeah, I know. Behind MAPCO, I thought the same thing, and because we had talked about it, it had been happening before the mills, because we got a lot of phone calls from Hillwood.
It did,
and I didn't know that it had already been happening a while on Hillwood. I thought the development caused it, and then Andy had a bunch of documentation showing it's been happening well before.
It has been, and
I thought the same thing.
Is this one particular resident here This is their backyard, I'm assuming?
Which one, 221 Hobbs?
Hobbs.
Yes, that's their backyard,
Is
yes.
it just one?
And the swale is there, and they're aware that the water does need to drain through there,
Yeah.
but it needs probably a little bit of improvement just to move a little bit more water.
Is there any type of drainage easement there?
There is a drainage easement there.
Okay,
yes.
so could be something there. Okay.
Yeah, and the development, I think just sort of brought a little more attention to it. It's something that they can focus on, saying that caused a problem, whereas, it probably didn't. It's not additional water. It's more concentrated, but it's not additional, so. It's just
Probably
something
flowed
that
out
they
like-
can grab hold of.
Probably didn't come in as fast before because you had the
Yeah,
trees and the-
yeah,
Yeah.
and also that outfall in particular on Hobbs, it's got some seepage, something that I think our inspector Sean is with it. We were talking about maybe some collars or something that may need to, because that seeps pretty much continuously, but every time I've been out to look at it, even though it's not discharging, there is some seepage. So that's something that we're going to work with the developer on to get that corrected. And Callista, 3364 Callista, we're all aware of that. We're working on that one. That's the as-built and the HOA we have to get with them. So we're working on that one. That one hopefully we'll move forward here in the next couple weeks. I think we're meeting with that one again. So
On Hobbs, that bridge, I guess it's bridge or drainage construction's been going on for quite some time. Is it nearing completion?
Cope's there.
Cause
they
they
still
opened
got
the
a
road
ways
back
to go.
up.
You're talking about the road, the culvert.
Yeah, the culvert, yeah.
They're back on it, so.
That we'll get to that in another slide.
Okay. All right. I'm ahead.
I got the capital improvements here. Yeah.
I had to turn around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too.
We have a meeting with the Collins Crossing folks, September 19th, 6 o'clock up here, with the attorneys, Brian Cook, to go over getting the as-bills like Michael just said, because we didn't get the as-bills, and the ditches in the front and the rear are holding water, so they need to get out there and fix that. So there's a discrepancy on who's supposed to be doing what on their behalf, not ours. So we're going to make it absolutely clear. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we're going to make it clear that they need to get that fixed before the city accepts any of that infrastructure.
They've been paid?
We got the bond on it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we have a little bit of leverage there.
Yeah, most of those concerns have been there. They just are an areas that we have to look at moving forward now with the developments there. Some of the regular maintenance of the infrastructure, Highland Drive, you could see that the swales were almost non-existent. So one important thing to note there was in the bottom left, Tristan, one of our maintenance workers, has taken over as the equipment operator, since our operator's been out for like a month and a half now. So he's been doing a good job with the machine there, improving those swales. It turned out real nice. Homeowners were real happy. Had a tree down there that we had to get moved out on Winchester. Wilkinson just had some, siltation and some erosion. Got some more of the flex mat in there. It's really been working well with the erosion of the banks.
Is that back to that Winchester Court? That's backside of my neighborhood. There's always been a problem there with drainage. Has that been resolved fully?
Well, they took the tree out of there. We haven't done more than that yet. So it wasn't really. It was holding up the water a little bit, and it was in the way, but it hasn't been a priority as of yet.
Okay. I know it's.
We're starting that tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We're gonna clean out that, now that the tree's out of the way, we're gonna cut a new swell in starting tomorrow.
That on the right-hand side of the cul-de-sac going in? Because I know that second house on the right, I've seen water up to his garage door.
So we're gonna get that reformed out starting this week. We was gonna do it last week, but we need to do that Mercer Road repair, so it took both crews for that. So we'll get started on that tomorrow.
Okay.
That's why. Indian Ridge, you can see, was overgrown. Guys went in there and did a good job cleaning that up, and that looks real nice. Cut that brush back, clean that swale up. Westchester, you can see the pipe was almost completely filled in, so they redid that swale there, cleaned out that culvert. North Palmos Chapel, same thing. Was that one? The homeowner actually took the trees out because it had over time kind of meandered off the property and out of the easement, and the homeowner was able to. We worked with him to get the trees out, and then we kind of came in and reshaped everything. That was kind of a team effort. Lower Drive, you can see, was just ponding in the front yard, just standing water. We actually found a culvert there that was not part of the infrastructure in the map. We need to add that to the infrastructure because it was completely buried, so it was missed before. But they found that, opened everything up, made it look real nice. It's flowing good now. Homeowner was happy. Might be a few touch-ups to do there, but and then had the inlet that was washing out, creating a whole little safety hazard. Guys fixed it up real nice. The fire hall actually started. There was that left picture. It was kind of an obstruction for the traffic. You couldn't see past that bush right there. So they went in there and they cleared that whole swale out, that whole ditch out. Turned out real nice. There's capital improvements, Hobbs Drive, Villages Court, both water line conflicts. The pictures are of Hobbs Drive, and you can see where White House Utility District has started moving their water line to accommodate the new box culverts. I think they're moving to Villages Court next, and starting next week, we'll start taking over all the box culvert pieces to Apache. So those start moving next week. Get them out there and get ready for that to get going. What else? Public outreach. We had Americana. There's a nice shot of the truck with the fireworks. Brooke and Sonny the Salamander was very popular. Sean, our inspector, he's out there today. He was with Sumner County Stormwater there. He was driving our utility vehicle around, taking water to everybody. And so those were good outreaches that we did in the past few months. And that's about it.
What was just 5K to Nashville?
That was about a month ago, I think. It was the end of July. I think it was a month and a half ago, maybe. It was. I didn't run.
That's why.
We did haul a lot of water around. There was like 5 water stations down. That was at Shelby Bottoms Park in Nashville.
Cool.
So, first time I had seen it. But, yeah, it turned out good.
Appreciate you, Mike. Next is other business, and there were no other business requests submitted during the agenda time frame. So, but I want to take a shout out because you may not know, and maybe Andrew doesn't know. Like that's the stormwater crew right there.
There it is.
That's it. You got an inspector on the left. You got currently 3 crew workers on the right, minus one that's having surgery on, I think his ankle.
Yep.
But so he'll be laid up for a couple more weeks. But like Mike said, Tristan stepped up to be the equipment operator, so he's been doing a great job at that. Ed does a great job dealing with the residents. So the way I look at it is he's more my
Utility player.
Well,
he does everything.
So it's like he deals with like a lot of the older subdivisions, so that's why he can answer those questions. Sean does more of the new development type stuff. So he tried to catch in the front end, he gets on the back end. Because prior to MS4, that's what he's dealing with, all the stuff that was there that didn't meet our, expectation at the time. So they all have a hard job. So I appreciate Sean, Tristan, Jacob, Ed, all you guys. Mike done a great job stepping up the last 3 months, 4 months. Because he had a tall order too. We had a lot of permit stuff going on. Of course, I can't have the time to sit there with him. So he's done a great job getting with the guys and getting that thing squared away as well.
He'll start working weekends.
Shoot.
Hey, I want to give him a shout out.
You go back to working Monday through Friday.
We work Monday through Friday.
Yeah, they do. I just want to give him a shout out too, though. Like, for instance, like we're working with some internal software, and Sean's been really instrumental in public services, is helping, get everything going. And then Ed, like I said, he's a utility player. Before you said that, I was just gonna give him a shout out from the way I work with him.
They're all sitting there going, what do y'all want?
No, I mean for real, they might not get their
They're great, I rely on them.
They deserve it, right?
Yeah, but when you look out there, what do you see? I mean, Sean, yes, stormwater inspector, but he also does sidewalks. He does driveways. He does proof rolls. He does a lot of things that
fence permits.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
We'll figure it out.
One man. So we just hired a public services, or public works inspector as well, so it'll complete him, I guess, if you want to if that makes sense. But now the other person for public works main role is going to be doing the proof rolls, the curbing, the sidewalks, the driveways. Sean will focus more back on the stormwater side, but they're both going to be interchangeable. So Sean's main focus right now, and Mike, I gave him a tall order, was to start getting the annual permits from all these commercial businesses and make sure they're meeting the MS4. So that's what his next big task is.
That is, as soon as the report is submitted, that's the next one.
You can hit the ground running with that. So I just want to give a shout out. Thank you guys. I appreciate everything you do, because without you wouldn't make us look good. So, but that's it. So meeting adjourned. And
I have a question.
I have a question.
Do we issue notice of violations for track out at new construction locations?
Yes, he does.
We do.
I got an email.
We contact them first and give them the opportunity.
Sure. Yeah.
It happens daily.
I send them pictures like when I'm driving.
Yeah.
And I actually had to kind of scale back because I felt like I was getting on the
Has the mill received
The Mills has not gotten a letter yet, but they've been contacted twice, and they've been told they need to step it up and pay more attention to it. I don't know, Sean, if you wanted to address that anymore, but if it doesn't get any better, they'll have to get a notice of violation letter.
Yeah, I mean, I understand, you don't want to be hard on people, but everybody has responsibilities. I mean, I don't know if everybody realizes this, but as part of this board, I had to take the erosion prevention and sediment control test, and we had this handbook, and part of that is a construction exit, and there's maintenance requirements here. It just says when visual inspections note an excessive buildup of sediment on the construction exit, the sediment and rock should be removed and replaced with clean stone. Sediment tracked off the construction project must be cleaned up before the next rain event or within 7 days, whichever is shorter. So, I mean, it says it right there that it's supposed to be cleaned up.
That's the
So, I
typical
mean,
response time, yes.
I mean,
and we also found out that there were some people that were exiting out of a different way they weren't supposed to be exiting. It was some of the vendors and contractors and people that weren't part of the pre-construction meeting, or part-time, or a single delivery or something. So they're aware of that also. And
how many chances do you give them? So let's say you gave them 2 verbals. Is the third one a written in, or how does that work?
Yeah, the second time when we got there wasn't really any material built up on the road. It was like a hazard. There was discoloration from the just red mud tracks.
Because like you said, sometimes it gets a little hard, because like he was saying, you might have a single delivery coming in and out, and that doesn't really. So if you give them a warning the first time, so you clean it, they do it, and it happens again, it's a different contractor without them knowing. It's kind of hard to shut them down for different people going in and out. But I can tell you right now, I would not want to be in the bad side of Sean, because he will hold them accountable. I've seen the emails come through, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
like I know he does his
We
job,
shut down,
and a lot of it is actually reactive. Because we don't see it until someone calls us, or even like the dust. We got a complaint the other day, and actually we saw
Yes.
it was the solar panels right there by our shop. They were working on the 7-Eleven, and all the solar panels were turning yellow from all the dust. So they went out there. Did you guys give an NOV for that, or did you just give a warning?
No, the response was that their water truck was on order. Told them they'd better hurry up and get it, because if we get another complaint, we've already had one, and we're gonna have to write them up next
That's
time.
a little severe, because you're talking $100,000 with a solar panel. So
That's what the panel.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But to answer your question too, Jason, I'll send them, and I scaled back, but I felt like, because I'm coming to them tracking stuff, and I don't want to be driving and texting, but I'll pull over and I take a picture and I forward it. Like when Isaiah was doing it, I sent to Isaiah, and I hadn't sent many, but if you see it, send it to him. Because
Yeah,
there's only 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I put it in the app.
Yeah.
Yep, that's great.
I mean, I
get
said,
it.
I feel like we're being reasonable with them, but at some point, I feel like they might take advantage of us.
Yeah, a couple of times. I mean, I've seen the ones in the app, and I usually go straight to Sean, and I say, go ahead and make contact with them and tell them there's another complaint. And complaints kind of move it to the next level. And once we give them the opportunity to clean up their processes, and then tell them that they need to pay closer attention to it, and whatever that takes. And if it continues to happen, then they'll get a formal letter. So with trucks coming and going, it's there's the red marks I see they're not like a traffic hazard. They're just kind of a discoloration. We even had the street sweeper go by there one day to even try to get some of the red marks off of it. So, but they are on. Everybody is watching them. Sean sees them. Ed sees them. I see them. So.
But thank you for letting us know. I'd rather hear it from you than someone that wants to car washed. So
yeah, no, keep them coming, because
we've had like the dust complaints.
So I get a free car wash if that gets
7-Eleven.
Cities have a van.
4 or 5.
Oh no, they'll go to the developer. Yeah, the developer.
4 or 5 thought there was a fire. There was somebody on the highway thought there was a fire. There was so much dust.
yeah, we hear it all the time, man. So
And it was dry, and they all got notified, and their water trucks got to be going. In fact, driving over here today, I could see dust in 7-Eleven, and I did not see the water truck yet, so I'll be stopping back by there. If not this evening, tomorrow.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
meeting adjourned.
So yeah, they got a ride. They got a ride in the road.